Welcome back. The government has asked the MTR Corporation to conduct a thorough investigation of its maintenance operations after defective parts caused 2 service disruptions in 10 days. The railway operator says it will replace the batch of faulty insulators as quickly as possible and promised an external review. Joel De Silva reports.
Chaos on the East Rail line for the second time in little over 1 week. Yesterday's incident prompted the MTR Corporation to admit that it had failed to properly screen a batch of imported parts. And now the government is demanding that the operator look deep into its maintenance procedures. During a radio interview today, Secretary for Transport and Housing Anthony Jong said he's concerned about the service interruptions and that he has asked the railway giant to conduct a full review of its maintenance operations. And the MTR Corporation's Operations Director, Jacob Cam, once again apologized to the public and said the company may hold the supplier of the parts accountable. Cam added that he would request independent parties to perform quality control tests. MTR has ruled out any relation between the latest 2 incidents and the service interruptions on the Chongqing line and light rail in December and January. Still, the corporation admits the frequency of incidents over the last 10 days is worrying. At the railway company's headquarters, members of the Democratic Alliance for the Betterment and Progress of Hong Kong and the Neo-Democrats demanded a review of the MTR Corporation's maintenance operations. And the Federation of Trade Unions rallied at their government headquarters, demanding that in addition to the fines applied to the firm when such service disruptions take place, company executives have their bonuses slashed as well. Joel De Silva, TVB News.
Government is looking into further tightening the use of mobile phones for all drivers. This would involve not only talking on the phone, but also touching the screen. Evelina Lung reports.
Talking on the phone while driving is illegal in Hong Kong. But what about touching or sweeping the screens of mobile phones? It was pointed out at LegCo today that some taxi drivers who offer fare discounts place servo phones on the dashboard as they try to communicate with passengers seeking call service. The government is now considering tightening the use of mobile phones by drivers.
We agree that current legislation should keep pace with the latest development and be reviewed from time to time, having regard to the technological advancement and risk assessment. If the community considers it necessary to explore the practicability of further tightening up the control over the use of mobile phones while driving, we have to carefully assess its impact on drivers. Not only taxi drivers, but also all commercial vehicle and other drivers.
Zhang added the government will ask the police to look into the number of traffic accidents caused by the use of mobile phones. Drivers we talked to today generally support the idea. I think it's all right to glance at your phone, but looking at it often while driving isn't right, this driver said. This cabbie said looking at the phone while driving is very dangerous because drivers won't be able to focus on the road conditions. To Sen Tong, director of the taxi drivers branch of the Motor Transport Workers General Union, said typing away on your phone is just as dangerous as holding your phone and having a conversation. The union held a petition at the Legislative Council calling on the government to amend the law as soon as possible. Evelina Lang, TVB News.
Chief Secretary for Administration Carrie Lam spoke out today on the controversy over hospitality and entertainment spending and gifts involving former ICAC Commissioner Timothy Tong. Lam said at a Legislative Council meeting that the incident has ruined Hong Kong's clean image.
Although many of the issues highlighted were related to the personal judgment or decisions of the former commissioner, they have caused wide public concern and inevitably undermined the ICAC's image and Hong Kong's reputation as a corruption-free society both locally and overseas, and have shaken people's confidence in the ICAC. The chairman of the Advisory Committee on Corruption, Mr. Chow Chung Kong, earlier said that the incident was upsetting and regrettable. I share his feeling.
Search teams in Indonesia have recovered the body of a woman, and the victim has now been identified as one of the Japanese divers who went missing last week off the resort island of Bali in Indonesia. One more diver remains missing tonight. The body recovered belonged to a 59-year-old Japanese woman. She was identified by her family from a wedding ring on her finger. According to the autopsy report, she died at least 3 days ago. Total of 7 Japanese divers, including 2 instructors, went missing last Friday while scuba diving off southeastern Bali. 5 of the group were found alive by fishermen on a coral reef. They all suffered burns due to prolonged exposure to sunlight. And Chris, what do you have for us in sports today?
Well, we still have some Olympic action left, and it's China again at the Sochi Games, where fortunes were mixed in short track speed skating. Jameson Wong has highlights.
And that's going to do it for us in the newsroom. Thanks for watching.
Good night.
Good evening. The weather was cloudy with a few rain patches. And as tonight's situation chart shows, the intense northeast monsoon is affecting southern China. Today's temperatures ranged from 7.9 to 12.4 degrees, and the relative humidity was between 64 to 96%, fresh to strong northerly winds. The current temperature is now 9 degrees Celsius, with the relative humidity standing at 80%. 3.8 millimeters of rainfall has been recorded since midnight. The cold weather warning is now in force. So Freddie, how's the weather tomorrow? There will be 1 or 2 light rain patches at first, becoming fine overnight with a minimum temperature of around 8 degrees in the urban areas and 2 to 3 degrees lower in the New Territories. It will be dry during the day tomorrow with a maximum temperature of about 14 degrees. Temperatures will rise in the next couple of days. Tomorrow's air quality health index is from low to moderate. The maximum UV index forecast for tomorrow will be about 7. And here's the latest global weather update. Sunny in Shanghai, showers in Taipei, cloudy in Xiamen. Sunny in Guangzhou and Macau, cloudy in Chengdu. Cloudy in Beijing, Seoul, and Tokyo. Rain in Bangkok, showers in Ho Chi Minh City, bright in Manila. Cloudy in Kuala Lumpur, thunderstorms in Singapore, rain in Jakarta. Sunny in New Delhi, Karachi, and Mumbai. Sunny in Cairo. Showers in Brisbane and Sydney. Snow in Toronto. Showers in Vancouver and San Francisco. Showers in London, rain in Paris and Amsterdam. And that's the weather. Have a lovely evening.